Welcome to the Via Stoica podcast. My name is Benny. I'm your host, and this is a Stoic Quotes episode. Today, we're going to take a quote by Seneca. It's from this book, from the Dialogues and Essays. It's from the letter he wrote to his own mother, Helvia. It's a consolation letter when he was in exile. This was before he became tutor to Nero and later his senior advisor. And he wrote a letter to her because she was probably feeling sad that he wasn't there, and he wanted to write something to her. And one of the things here, the quote that I found is really interesting, right? Because he was exiled, and people say that he was really struggling. I think it was on the island of Corsica, where there wasn't, what is now Corsica, where there wasn't a lot of, it was pretty much a desolated rock, as they described it. Whether he was trying to make himself feel more upbeat and learn these lessons, or whether he really felt it, right, that he was able to lead a rich life in exile, even if he didn't have anything. And this is really what he's trying to say with this quote. Whether he really lived it or not, that's up for debate. Let's give him let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But this is the quote. Here we go. Greed is satisfied by nothing, but nature finds satisfaction even in scant measures. I really like this for many reasons, especially because when we look around in the world, we see that so many people are taken in by greed, and greed can manifest itself in different directions, right? It's not just about money or possessions, but it can also be with ambition. It can also be with status, fame, just wanting more things. Greed is something when you have a specific desire for something, when you have certain specific goals. If greed is attached to it, then it will never be enough. You won't always want more. There's always that moving goalpost that's keeping you from being satisfied and feeling grateful for what you have right here, right now. It's never in the moment. It's always in a future moment, right? Greed is never here. Because if greed would be here, then it would say, hey, this is perfectly fine. But greed is always attached to some kind of future thing that you want. There's something more. It stems from a certain level of dissatisfaction with where you are right now. That's why he says greed is never satisfied by nothing. Or greed is satisfied by nothing. Why? Because greed always is hungry. Greed always wants more. But if we look to nature, if we really look at our own nature, but just nature around us and in general, nature is satisfied by even the smallest things. Why? Because it knows that this is all that it has. It's only here in the present moment that we find everything that we need. We have our experiences from the past that make us who we are. They might not always be good. They might be good, but all of them together will make us who we are. And those labels of good and bad are something that we add. They're all experiences in that chain of cause and effect. Right, that the Stoics really believe in, that deterministic thing, like everything happens for a reason, as fate has woven its thread, right? Clotho's one who has woven the thread, and that's what we're living, a chain of cause and effect. But every little chain is one moment. And that moment that we're living in right here, right now, that's the moment where we can find everything that we need. And if we focus on that, if we really focus on what nature has given us, what fate has given us, then we should be able to be satisfied and be grateful. It might not be the things that we want to happen, but they are the moments that will allow us to practice the Stoic virtues, to make the moral choice, to be the best version who we are. And that's why Stoics sometimes welcome those most difficult moments. Why? Because those are the moments that really put us to the test. How well have you practiced this? How well have you studied it? It's all great that you know how to recite the quotes, that you know who wrote this or who said this or that. But the most important test is when it comes connected to life, when you have to put these things into practice. One of the things that Epictetus says in another discourse, he said, take us out of the classroom and we're horribly shipwrecked. We are able to recite all of these things and say how wonderful they are, including me. But these things, for example, this podcast, for me, part of it is as a reminder to see how well am I living? Am I what I'm saying, putting it into practice? And I fail miserably many times, but I keep learning and I keep doing my best. And every moment that comes to mind, especially these last couple of years, I can see them more as like, this is my moment to test myself and to test how well I've come along and how well I'm advancing. And that's how we should all approach it. This isn't for someone to tell you how bad you are or how much more you should learn and study. This is more like, where are you right now? And that I should keep doing my best. Yes, the goalpost is there, right? And the bar is set really high. The Stoics put it right up there, right? They say, we're aiming to be the Stoic sage, but we are not there. Whether we actually make it, that's another story. Probably not. If I look at myself, I probably won't be there, but I feel that I am getting better and I'm doing my best every single step along the way. But in that moment, that's when we are feeling connected. That's when we should feel satisfied with what we have. Be grateful. Look around you. See who is there. See who you are connected with. See what the world gives you. Be grateful for it. Be satisfied with even the smallest things that you get to use in that moment and that event that you can show what you are capable of and who you are. But if you are stuck with greed, that's never going to be satisfied. If you are chasing these externals, if you are chasing all these wants and desires, you're never going to find that moment where you feel complete. And a lot of people think that, but if I only reach this job, if I only reach this level of financial security, if I only reach this, if I only reach that, then my life will be happy. There will always be different problems. There will always be different situations that you're going to have to deal with. But you can deal with anything. And if you practice yourself based on that, giving yourself that confidence, knowing that you can deal with those situations, why? Because you have reasonable logic, you have all the skills and capabilities to deal with them. And if not, ask around. There's so many people, such a support system that can help you. And that's really what we're looking for, to be satisfied, to be grateful for us right here in the moment, to connect with nature, to see what's around us, and to see that nature doesn't demand much of us. But its demands are strict. Make the moral choice. Know what's right. Use logic and reason. Be virtuous. And if we do that, we can find joy. We can find those good emotions, the eupatheia. We can find that joy in everything that we do. And that's really what we're aiming for. As we wrap this episode up, thank you for listening. I will read the quote one more time. Again, it's in Helvia. It's Consolation to Helvia from Seneca. It's in point 10 if you want to look it up. It's right at the end of that point. And it says, greed is satisfied by nothing, but nature finds satisfaction even in scant measures. So when you listen to this episode and when you go back into life, think about, what am I yearning for? Where are my desires leading me to? Are they taking me away from gratitude and satisfaction? If so, focus on where you are right now. Be grateful for what you have. Look around in nature and see that you have everything you need to live that good life. Anyway, thank you for listening. This was one of the Stoic Quotes episodes. We have regular episodes on Tuesday, but please also like and subscribe to the podcast. Leave a comment, and if you want to know more about specific topics, tell us. We will then dive into them as we make more episodes from the podcast. And if you need some help with this, you can always book a free consultation on Stoica.com. And you can also go there for many more quotes. We have hundreds and hundreds of them. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, some of Diogenes Laertes, some other ones. You can find all of them there, and many blog posts that can pretty much cover every topic, almost every topic. And if we're missing a topic, let us know. But thank you very much for your time, for listening. Hopefully this helped you in a way. And you can also sign up to the newsletter, The Pause. Many people read it. It's been growing steadily, which is really cool. This is pretty much just one moment of where you can just take a moment for yourself once a month. Some small exercises, a book review, book recommendation, and some other things that will help you advance in the Stoic path. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next episode.